Welcome to this week's lesson, and in this lesson we're going to work with orthographic projection. And to get started with, I want to show you just a few things in this PowerPoint to let you see what orthographic projection is all about. And start this PowerPoint here. Now, orthographic projection is when you're taking something that is in the 3D space and you're going to put it in 2D space. And if you can see here, this object is in 3D, and everything we see in real life is in 3D space. When out in the field, they want to put things in perspective where you can just see the object straight on, so you can dimension it and get those accurate dimensions. So we're seeing everything in 3D, but we're going to draw in 2D. And what that means is 3D space, you've got three dimensions. You got the width of an object, the depth, and the height of an object. And whenever we're putting in a 2D space, we're only going to use two of these. And that's where orthographic projections come in. Now, every object that's in 3D space has 6 views. And you can see all these 6 views right here. And this works in mechanical, it works in architectural, it works in civil. Everything works in the same system of multi-view orthographics. Now, the glass box theory is one that you really need to be acquainted with, and it's like putting this 3D object in and you project up to that plane. You project these lines up to this plane to get the 2D view. And you can see there's top, here's the front, and here's the right side. Now typically that's all we use is top, front, and right side, because if you use like the left side, the back, or something like the bottom, all of that is just going to be mirror images. And you can see it right here when you open this thing up. Right here's your hinge lines on this box, and then it just opens up after it's projected, and then you'll have your two-dimensional drawings. And you're going to see right here that here's your top, front, and right side. And like I said, the reason you don't put these the bottom, left side, and rear in there is because they're just mirror images. Now when we start drawing these, there's always just a real simple rule is I always start out trying to find my front view because it has the most detail oriented, and also you try to find what the object is in natural space, how it's actually oriented, how it actually sits there. And you can look on this one, the front view looks really good like this because you got the most detail of it. And then off of that we project our top and our right side off of it, just like that. And we talk about transferring depth. We're going to do this in AutoCAD just in a second. Use a 45-degree miter line is the best method, but you can also use dividers and a scale if you are using a board. But in AutoCAD, use this 45 miter line, and I'll show you how to do that just here in a second. And again, choosing your front view for the orthographics, again, you see this car, it's oriented in its natural space and it shows the most detail of the car. So this one right here would look better than all of those. Alright, now with that said, let's jump into our AutoCAD, and we're going to draw the locator part that is in this chapter tutorial, and I'm going to draw it real quick. And of course, if you guys have any questions, you can always contact me, but I'll start out with line. And I'm going to draw the front view first, and on the front view I figured out I want to draw it like this. 5 1 comes up 1, comes back over here like this. Comes up. So it'd be 1, 2.5. I'm going to send it back over here. Use that tracking And basically, that's just the main layout of this thing. I'll do a spot check on it and make sure I've got my... Yeah, that's right. Now after I get the front view, I go ahead and I start drawing. I'll just project this up. I'm going to project this line over. And what I want to do is I want to offset off this one. Just do an offset. I want to offset about 1 inch. And that's where I want to start my next drawing. I'm going to do the same offset off the top of this, and this is where my top drawing is going to be. So this will be the start of my top, this will be start of my right side. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 45-degree miter line in. So hit line, come down here, and I want to go to settings. It's already set on 45. Set that in there, and I got to get a width dimension on this thing, which is 3. So I'm just going to do a quick offset of 3, and I'll put it right here. Now you see where this line right here crosses that miter line? That's where I shoot it over. So at this point, I'm going to shoot this line up right there as well to get my top view. So basically, my top view, I've got everything set up for that. So this is just the overall size of my top view, and I transfer the depth of it up to here. Now my right side view, I'm just going to take right there, shoot this over here to there, and we've got it. We've got the gist of it laid out. Let's come through and trim up these lines I don't need. So basically you've got your top, front, and your right side sitting there. Pretty easily set up. Now, again, you have 3 dimensions. Of course, on this one you have your width and your height on the front view. The top view, you transfer your width up, so you'll have width, and then you have your depth of it. Right side view, you're going to transfer over your height, and then your depth comes off the top view, or vice versa. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the stuff in. Offset 1.75. Go ahead and put this little fella in right there. It's that little angle that's on the side of it. And I want to bring this on up here like this to there, because I know on the top view it's going to start right there and come over, and it's a quarter inch off of this side. Offset to the wrong side, so I'll try it again. Alright, so we got that one. So I just clean up those lines I didn't need, trim. And again, I'll grab this one and I'll just mirror image it, catch a center point to center point. And I have to do it like this. Mirror, catch this one, catch that center point, bring it over here, like that, enter, trim that out. So now we've got that on there. So I want to take this and I want to figure out down here on the bottom where it goes. So I want to figure out where this little angle goes down here on the bottom. I'm just going to take this and bring it across. That line goes all the way across there. And then right here, just catch this point, bring it over, bring it down, just like that. Delete out that line. Do the same thing here. Catch that point, bring it straight down. Delete that line out. Now, what I want to do is put this little groove in here, and to do that, I want to do it on the top view. It's going to offset 2.25 enter. We're going to jump back right off that one. Line, catch that center point. I want to bring it back. So right there is my center point to put a 1 inch diameter in. I want to do an intersection, and then that's going to be 1 inch diameter. And I want to shoot off those quadrants out to there, both sides. Clean this up, trim. trim, and then I'm going to go over here and catch this, bring that off that miter line, bring that straight down to there. Same thing there. At that point, we've got that set. So all that is good. So that one's all good. Now let's go ahead and let's get the top of this thing. So I want to go ahead and just transfer this width up here of this, just like that. And you can see on this thing, at the main top, we've got a 1 inch coming off the center of it. So we'll offset that line a 1/2 inch both sides. Boom, boom. Delete that out. So now I can take that and bring it straight over here, catch that point, bring it to right there, bring that one to right there, and because we know it's going to come down at an angle, and we'll stop and wait on that. Now this is a 30 degree. It's a line. I'm going to come down here and settings, and I'm actually going to use a 15 degree. So I watch what I'm doing when I bring that right there's 15, there is 30. Y'all see that? Again, I know we're going straight over it. That's saying 180. There's 195, that'd be 15. And 210 would make it 30 degrees, so I trim all that out. So all of that is completed in good shape. So I'll come back up here to line, and now we've got those in. Now I've got to bring this thing over to this view. We do it just like that. And that right there, we've got it. However, there is on the back side of this a groove coming up the back side. So I want to hit or do an offset, and that offset looks to me like it is 1/4 of an inch. So I want to offset this 1/4 of an inch over, and of course I'll bring it straight up to here. We'll have to do some trim work on it too, and then also we'll have a 1/4 inch offset over here as well. Well, actually, we got to figure out how far back that is, and it's 1/2 of an inch. So offset 1/2 of an inch. So when we clean this thing up, it's going to look just like that. Bring that back there. Bring that back to that point. Just like that is that groove, and what I do, I just do a mirror, catch this side, trim it out, and at that point we've got to come over here and shoot this thing over, and then shoot this down all the way. Same thing as this one up here. Now these would be hidden lines. I have to make myself a layer. Make sure you guys use your templates. It makes things a lot easier. I make myself a hidden line, catch some color and put on it. Line weight's about a 0.3 standard. And I'd grab those two, make sure those are hidden lines. And go in here, make sure my line type was a hidden. Alright, so we got all that done. So clean out these lines here. So this top is completely done. This is done. However, this right here is still a mess, and we got to figure out what we're going to do with that. So I hit trim. That's gone. Well, or would it be? No, that wouldn't be right. So we got to figure out how this thing's going to look. So I come up here and hit line right there, and I bring this across. Okay, we got it. Right here's the top of that groove. So it'll be from right there, and it's going to go to right there. What I do is grab this one and bring it up to it. And that right there is what that would look like, just by projecting back and forth. This would be that angle, this would be that groove coming all the way down through there, and we found out where it stopped at right here, or started at, and we were able to put that in there by figuring out what because you're using the taper here on this side, you're using the top view, and you'd be able to project all that over. So again, that's just some basic multi-view orthographics. Now this is going to be on your drawing, and we're missing one thing here before we go too much farther. We got a hidden line right here to show this. And I think now we've basically got everything we need. But again, this is the locator part. It's in chapter 5. There's a tutorial that takes you all the way through this. Make sure you use that 45-degree miter line. And if you have any questions, just contact me.